Hey, what's up everyone? So, I'm not going to do a reaction video for each episode of 르세라핌's documentary Make It Look Easy, but I will discuss my feelings of it. And similar to like the first documentary, the first documentary was very good of capturing their initial development and up to their first or their debut of Fearless, and we got to see the challenges, the ups and downs that they went through, you know as they formed the group, and the members were not familiar with each other, but eventually started to grow with each other up to that starting point. But with this one, it leads up, it continues from that moment up to the debut of Easy. And um, let's just say that watching this documentary, I was actually, I watched it before going to work and while I'm at work, and during my lunch break, and just going through everything and just having it processed in my mind. And man, how can I say this? I was literally some moments just in tears, and I'm like, oh, you gotta stop that, because you're still you gotta get back to work, and next thing you want from me is just to have all red eyes going back to show that I was like crying or tearing up. But it did hit me. I think if anything, to see the moment with Sakura saying that she was scared to sing, that hurt, because as a person who's followed her since HKT48 and Eyes One, she's a person that looks confident on stage. But for those of you who have followed her since HKT48, and even to the Produce 48 series, you know that she is a person that, while she is strong, she's strong for her group. At the same time, she's a person who does lack confidence in herself, and she can easily be get that she usually gets down on herself. And it's just sad because she's gone through a lot. All the members have gone through a lot. With the first episode, we saw how Unche, it was revealed about her, you know, breathing issues, and it kind of explains to what also happened at the end of the Mama Awards. Or was it not the Mama Awards? It was actually the performance in the Philippines, right after, because she also looked like she was in pain, and people saw that video, and people are wondering what's going on with her. Why is she behaving this way? And now we know that this is something that has happened numerous times before. I think maybe she tends to hyperventilate. Believe it or not, Chaewon also has that problem when she's very sad and she's crying, and we saw that at the final goodbye for Eyes One. She was hyperventilating, and Sakura had to help her, and it was tough to watch. But the thing is that I felt this documentary really gave people the behind the scenes of 르세라핌, in probably their most intimate moments, in the way that they were processing things in their mind. So we saw Unche in episode one. You got to see some of that, and the how she was trying to do her best, being a trooper, to get back on stage, even though she was having these breathing issues. Um, Again, having, I've known music artists this way, especially drummers. I don't want to name the group, but there was this one drummer or music group that I know very well that when they performed, the drummer would collapse while she was taken backstage. Hold on, everyone. Let me fix this real quick here. Let me fix my settings. Hold on here. Just want to make sure. Okay, it's on. Good. Good. Okay. So, I also had a chance, to see certain artists when they were broken up, pretty much. Their management did what they can, and sometimes management can be strict, and but the thing is that sometimes these groups and these artists need a good support system. And one thing I did like is seeing that how their management crew were there for them to protect them, even if even when the cameras were on them, they tell the cameras, please stop or get away, move out. And they took care of their artists, and they know that some of that stuff has to be filmed to show the background of what was going on with them, but they were also very careful around the artists and taking care of them. So that was good to see, especially when they had to go to the hospital, and it was mentioned how they got the type A influenza, and we know what happened there. They had to cancel that Bangkok concert, which was very sad because they were on a roll, but I think they just were going nonstop, night after night, night after night, and when you don't get to sleep and when you're tired, sometimes that stuff gets to affect you. But going to the second episode, we saw Yoonjin when she made the song Idol, and Idol, or or Idol, however you want to say it, because she referenced both the title. But anyway, how she came to write that, all the pains that she was feeling inside, and all the negative, she went on to write that song. So that seeing how that was created, and we saw how Kazuha was dealing with not being satisfied. Even though she's happy, she's not satisfied, which led to the fourth episode with Sakura, and that was just literally no. It was the third episode with Sakura. That was literally a heartbreaker right there. Because again, I followed her for such a long time, since her HKT48 years, and I know, I remember her back then when she was AKT48 starting out, and she would cry about how certain fish were being captured and used for food, and I remember that crying Sakura. But then I remember the crying Sakura when she did not place that well in the Sosenkyo, and she vowed to do even better. She has this part of her that doesn't want to give up, that wants to get better and better, but you often wonder, will she ever be happy? Because she always strives to do her best, and she always is there to defend her group, her members of the group, always there. But at the same time, sometimes I often wonder about the toll on her mental health, and with the criticism of her singing, and as we can see what happened here. And then of course with Chaewon, also mentioning that in the fourth episode, of how she's tired and sometimes she just feels like giving up. So we got to see the members in their lowest points through this because like the title says, they make it look easy, but everything about what they do is very difficult and hard. And I think one of the most heartbreaking things about watching this documentary, all 5 episodes, was just knowing that this just leads to the debut of Easy. But what happened after that is possibly one of the most heartbreaking things, and I don't know if it's going to be shown in the next documentary, but at the same time, I'm just very sad about how I'm just very sad of how there were people full of hate that tried to use the, oh, we're just trying to give constructive criticism, when they were really being bullies. They tried to use that as their way of twisting things, way of being mean. And while I was reading that, especially for certain channels, YouTube. There's another YouTube channel. They kept on using Sakura over and over and over for their clickbait, and also another website, and they were just also full of hate. And a K-pop English website, that is. Both, I'm not gonna tell you who they are because they are a piece of shit. But my feeling is that I hope karma bites them in the ass for all the people who who were full of hate and really were mean and nasty, and they fed off it and kept on going and going, like they wanted. You know how with certain K-pop artists and certain the people keep on egging on that they want to see something bad happens to them. This is the point that these people were really trying to do that, and trying to really damage this group as much as they can. And you know what? I am so very proud to be a FEARNOT, because the way fans have stood up for 르세라핌, even through the whole Coachella situation, even after the Coachella situation, just being there and defending the ladies when things were looking down. But the fans, the FEARNOTs all over the world stood up, and they made sure they defended this group. It's one of the most beautiful things I've seen. I've seen it happen with Eyes One, but with 르세라핌, even till now, with all the stuff that's going on with the label and with another group, and people saying this and that, and people not knowing the real facts of what's going behind the scenes, because they're trying to instigate this hate that probably doesn't exist, because these people are friends with other groups to begin with. But the thing is that people, haters are going to hate, and there's people who are like, oh, that's what they use, but they just can't take constructive criticism. Whatever. My feeling is that this documentary kind of shows how fragile their mindset could be, because when you keep on doing that, when you keep on spouting your negativity, you don't realize that these people are just human as well, and the hate that they bring can hurt someone. And we've seen how that hate has affected other K-pop stars and celebrities from Korea and other countries as well. It's just not a good sight to see. And I'm just so happy that this group they're so good with each other, taking care of each other, but most of all, having a fandom that gives a damn and will do whatever they can do to defend these ladies, and to also show their love and support. That is the strength of the FEARNOT. And with that strength, we give it to 르세라핌. Yep, they do make it look easy, but we know it's hard. We know they hurt like everyone else hurts, but we do what we can to make them happy, and to show that let's tone out all that hate, because these people are gonna be like that no matter what. Once you reach a point of success, they're just gonna keep on being the asses that they are. But at the same time, FEARNOT has your back. So this was a wonderful documentary, and I know the next step from this doesn't get doesn't get any easier at all. We know what happened after this, through the point from Coachella till now, and it's a sad thing to say, to see. But you know what? This group is resilient. And all I can say is just I'm just very happy to be a FEARNOT. It's just I love this group, and I'm just so happy that I'm part of a community that will defend and do what they can to protect these ladies at all costs. It's just that's what it is, right? That's what it is, and thank you to those who are FEARNOTs who stood behind these ladies to show them love and support, to defend them, to call out those ass wipes on social media, and also to call out those hateful YouTube channels and websites, especially with those trolls with 1,000 burner accounts. So, thank you, 르세라핌. Thank you, Hive, for allowing us to see the behind the scenes of 르세라핌. No, their intention was not to make anyone sad. Their intention was to show us how real things are behind the scenes. That while they are a popular group, they are also human. They have emotions like all of us. They do feel hurt. They do get sad. And they also question that happiness. Or will they ever be happy? Or what kind of happiness is there? It's something that a lot of us tend to want to figure out. Not just, everybody. Every single person. It's just how it is. And sometimes it's good to know that they have each other, and they also have FEARNOT. So I'll just leave it at that. Thank you, everyone, and I will see you later. Wink, wink, and take care, everyone. Bye bye.